watching the ACC on ESPN. College football is presented by Hampton by Hilton as part of the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. Clemson's next game will be the ACC Championship game in Charlotte to take on Pitt, who came up short today, 8 p.m. on ABC. And South Carolina will play another home game. The makeup will play Akron at home next week. And here come the Gamecocks, led by quarterback Jake Bentley. Could say he comes from a football family. His stepbrother Chaz, quarterback at Rutgers. Brother Schuler, quarterback at Old Dominion and Murray State. And yeah, he's a coach's kid. Bobby Bentley is the running backs coach on South Carolina. Coached all three of the kids in high school. Has an 18-11 record as the starting quarterback for the Gamecocks. In his playing Greece, his best football to this point, right here. You want to peek at the right time, and here he is. First down and 10 from the 25, and the place is buzzing. They've banged out the building tonight in Clemson. Quick feed to Deebo Samuel. He is the playmaker. But there is a flag down, and we'll check the marker 5 seconds in. Referee's Matt Loeffler.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that is Dylan Wadham. They start a true freshman at right tackle, South Carolina does.
Well, you mentioned Jake Bentley, Steve, coming into this game. He's playing his best football of his career at South Carolina. This team has won 4 of the last 6 games, and a lot of it has to do with the way that Jake Bentley and this offense have been producing in an efficient fashion.
And hearing it from the crowd early. In-state rivalry game. Hard to see any South Carolina fans in the building. It's all orange tonight. On 1st and 15, on the ground, Amon Denson trying to turn the corner for a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Tanner Muse came up to make the stop.
Carolina has gotten their momentum going on offense, but they have not faced a defense as complete as Clemson. Yes, they played some good defenses in Georgia, in Florida, but neither of those teams have this complete defense as Clemson does.
Jake Bentley throwing to Deebo Samuel, and he's got the first down. Kayvon Wallace made the stop. The McShay matchup tonight from Chick-fil-A.
The matchup to me is on the perimeter. If Bentley's going to have a good night tonight, it's going to be because he's getting the ball in his playmakers' hands. Deebo Samuel, Brian Edwards. Edwards, a big physical receiver. Samuel, the dynamic playmaker, going up against Clemson corners, A.J. Terrell and Trayvon Mullen.
All right, Chick-fil-A impact players tonight. Deebo Samuel, that was good for 15 yards. Bentley hangs in there and throws to the middle of the field. It is caught. Big completion to Shi Smith. And a good start for South Carolina out of the penalty marker.
Brent Venables decides to come with no safety in the middle of the field. That leaves it wide open for the post route to Shi Smith. Great job by Bentley holding as long as he can to make the throw.
Christian Wilkins put a lick on Bentley at the end of the play. That was a gain of 29 yards, and things will settle down now with the Gamecocks on the move. Mon Denson had a hamstring injury early in the season. He's thought to be more of a short yardage guy, and really has been forced into a bigger role because they have so many injuries.
Different formation here. Carolina has taken 2 offensive linemen out of the formation.
Second down and 4 on the ground to Denson. And that'll go, maybe they'll give him a yard on the forward progress. Isaiah Simmons came up to make the tackle and bring 3rd down. You don't see that formation every day.
I think what you're going to see from Brian McClendon, the offensive coordinator, he realizes that they're at a disadvantage on their offensive line against this defensive line. So they're going to have to mix in some of these variables, maybe some trick plays to get production moving the ball down the field tonight.
Bentley throwing and completing to Shi Smith, and he's got the first down. Bentley looks cool and calm, gain of 8.
Yeah, you know, Leaves, I think everybody loves to talk about Deebo Samuel and Brian Edwards, but I think Shi Smith goes very underrated for this team. He's reliable. Jake Bentley has a good rapport with him. He's got 31 catches now on the season, and he has become a very reliable receiver.
First down and 10 and on the move at the Clemson 21. Good pocket for Bentley. Looked right and threw to his left, to his back. Denson out of the backfield to go incomplete. First incompletion for Bentley of the game.
We'll see how Brent Venables decides to play here in this red zone fringe area. We've already seen him be aggressive, try to blitz, come after Jake Bentley, and he gave up the post route. The last 3 or 4 snaps, he's played more vanilla zone looks. That's not his MO. He likes to bring pressure and play man-to-man. But so far, it's hurt him in this drive. Another really zone look from Clemson.
On the ground, Denson again. He'll fall forward for a couple. Christian Wilkins in there as usual to make the stop.
It's going to be so hard for Carolina to run the ball between the tackles tonight. I mean, you know that coming into the game, that you're not going to just block Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins and Farrell and all these guys on a consistent basis. So you have to have some plays in here for Deebo Samuel in the run game on the perimeter, I believe.
9th play of this drive. Third down and 7.
You got a zone look with Deebo Samuel on a linebacker here. That's Joseph.
Bentley's looking that way. In some trouble. And a marker comes out. Tried to hook up with Chavis Dawkins. And we'll check the flag.
Offside on the defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Clelin Ferrell getting flagged. The officials, if you were curious, are from the SEC here tonight.
This brings up for Carolina, it brings up the opportunity to run the football in this short yardage situation, 3rd and 2. You got the whole playbook at your disposal.
Bentley to throw for it. Setting up the screen to Denson, and he just has it, I think.
That's a big-time catch by Denson. That ball was kind of a little bit high. He had to catch it over his helmet, it looked like. They only gained a couple of yards here, but it's a 1st down, and this is not an easy catch right there over your head like that. Well done by Denson to pick up a 1st down.
And the drive continues. 2 big studs in that middle of that Clemson front. Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins will step out. They're going to go for a measurement here.
Looked like he had to get to the 11-yard line.
You know, the yellow line is unofficial. Still.
I'm looking at the chains. I can't see the yellow line.
It's a 1st down. I took my kids to an NFL game. They're like, where's the yellow line? But that's the kids today, right? They're young. Give them a break. Yeah. Hey, Dad, where's the yellow line? I can't see the yellow line on the field.
I never have gotten out of the habit as an old quarterback. I look over to the sideline to the sticks. That's just what I do.
Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins are back in there. So they move the chains. That's the 4th 1st down of this drive. The other benefit of this is keeping that Clemson offense off the field. Rico Dowdle has checked in. Here's Bentley under pressure, got a jersey pulled, and he'll just throw it away. Austin Bryant had the pressure, and he was trying to yank Bentley down.
That's going to be a matchup to watch. Austin Bryant on the true freshman, Wanham, and that time it's just speed around the edge. Wanham's going to be a good player, but he's 315 pounds, and as a true freshman, he hasn't seen the kind of speed consistently.
Quick throw to Shi Smith for a couple. A.J. Terrell making the stop, bring up a 3rd down.
And as good as this drive has been, now the 13th play of the drive, this is the tough area of the field to score on Clemson. They just do not give up touchdowns. You see, they haven't given up any points in the last 8 quarters.
3rd down and 8.
They're bringing the linebackers through the middle. Nice job by Bentley, audible.
Here comes that pressure right up the middle at Bentley, and he got rid of it into the end zone for the touchdown. Deebo Samuel for the score. That is the first touchdown allowed by Clemson in the first quarter this entire season.
On for the extra point, number 43, Parker White.
Parker White on for the extra point. On the way, and it is good. A most impressive start for the Gamecocks.
Maybe this is as good as you can do it from the quarterback position. This blitz is coming. He knows it's coming. Watch Jake Bentley. Give ground, give ground, give ground. And then right here, he's got pressure, and he has to find a window to get that into Deebo Samuel. That is as good as you can do it at the quarterback position under tremendous pressure. Well done, Jake Bentley.
Bentley goes 6 for 8 on the drive. 65 yards, and the first score of the night. So an impressive scoring drive by South Carolina. Has them up on top of Clemson, 7-0. Will Tommy will kick it away. And we'll get our first look at Trevor Lawrence and that explosive Clemson offense. They actually lead the nation in explosive plays. Darian Kendrick is back deep. He'll let it bounce in and out of the end zone. I mentioned Trevor Lawrence. That kid's a winner. 52-2 in high school, a couple of state titles. He won 41 games in a row. Set a Georgia State record for passing yardage. Was named the starter in Week 5. Some 21 passing touchdowns on the season. A new Clemson freshman record, and a prediction that will not be the last record that Trevor Lawrence sets.
I'm really looking forward to watching him play in this game. You know, he's had an unbelievable season, but rivalry games are just a little bit different. Probably a little bit of nerves, butterflies. See how he handles it.
On the ground, Travis Etienne got to throw a slow start a week ago. He'll get 3 there, did some pouting on the sideline, and there's the best news for Clemson tonight, the return of Hunter Renfrow. We were told he was checked out for a concussion, left last week's game early, and here he is again to play, to continue to break and set some more Clemson wide receiver records. Good on Hunter Renfrow. Here's Etienne back in the game for a second carry. And it'll bring up a third down and short. Chick-fil-A impact players. Here's McShay.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the perimeter here, Steve. I think these receivers for Clemson, one of the deepest groups in the country. T. Higgins, Justin Ross are the 2 names you're probably going to hear the most tonight. Higgins a big target. Ross is really emerging as a freshman, going up against these corners, Rashad Fenton and Keyshawn Nixon.
We will watch for that. Here's a third down and 3 from the 32. That's Renfrow in the slot. This is his spot. They love him here. Lawrence to throw for the first time tonight. And underneath, who else? Captain third down, Hunter Renfrow across midfield. Runs right through the logo and is bounced down. Listen to the ovation for the graduate senior Hunter Renfrow, gain of 21.
Look at you right on cue, calling out a third down to Hunter Renfrow. Well done.
You know, a couple more years hanging around with you, Grease. I'm starting to pick some stuff up. Fake to Etienne. Out of the flat, T. Higgins.
You know, it's crazy to me. Everyone in the building, including you, Steve, knows that they're going to the slot receiver Renfrow on third downs, and yet I just don't understand why there's not more press coverage. Even bring a safety over and get help. You got to take him away on third downs.
That's a great point.
Easier said than done.
Everybody knows it's coming. Here's Amari Rodgers on the quick screen to the receiver.
One of the challenges as to why you can't play man-to-man on Hunter Renfrow if you're South Carolina, all the injuries. They have 9 players on the defensive side of the ball that are out for this game. You see at every level, this defense has been decimated with injuries. The defensive line, linebackers, Bryson Allen-Williams continues to be out. So they have their hands full with this offense tonight.
2nd down and 7. On the ground, Etienne spinning around for a 1st down yardage. I mentioned the slow start that Etienne got off to last week. He had his first 5 carries for 4 yards, headed to the sideline and was really upset. And then players got to him. I guess the coaching staff got to him as well, and he certainly turned it on. Averaged 0.8 yards per carry in the first half last week. In the second half, averaged 9 yards per carry. Had 2 big touchdown runs on the way, 27 and 29 yards to blow things open against Duke. On 1st down and 10. From the Carolina 13. Lawrence, the throw, gets some late pressure. Has Etienne out of the backfield underneath. Keyshawn Nixon made the stop. Be a 2nd down.
You see pretty early in this game, Trevor Lawrence, a little bit of patience. He wanted to get that ball to Renfrow. He was double covered in the end zone. He goes to his 2nd and 3rd read, throws the ball in the flat to Etienne, and brings up a manageable situation here on 2nd and short.
Tavian Feaster. They're going to mark him short of the goal line. But he has the 1st down. And it will be a 1st and goal from inside the 1.
Great sign for this offensive line up front, especially right guard Gage Cervenka. He's been inserted in that starting position the last month. Coming off the football here inside the 5-yard line.
Feaster trying to crash to the line. Can't get there. Josh Belk in the middle. And R.J. Roderick there to make sure of that stop.
Nice job by Brad Johnson as well, Steve, coming off the edge. He's going to play a lot of snaps. No DJ Wanham, no Aaron Sterling on the outside. So Brad Johnson, the buck position has fallen on his lap. Really nice job on that last play.
2nd down and goal. Good look from our sky cam. Feaster again. This time he's got it. Touchdown. And who's the first guy on the field to celebrate? It's the defensive tackle, Christian Wilkins. Just can't keep Wilkins off the field. And we're an extra point away from a tie game.
An impressive answer from Clemson. South Carolina came to play tonight offensively. They go right down the field, and Clemson comes right back with a 10-play drive of their own, doing a lot of it on the ground with Etienne.
There's Greg Hugel on for the extra point. And just like that, we're all knotted at 7. Right away on a key 3rd down, Hunter Renfrow involved. One of the big plays leading to the touchdown. Speaking of big plays, they're big players. Christian Wilkins wants in on the party tonight. Key funeral, both date back to the infamous 1902 matchup. Good times. Good times indeed. They're having a good time. Hope you are as well. A Saturday night, Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. Final home game of the season for these Tigers. They got big plans, big plans. B.T. Potter puts it in the air. And this will go for a touchback, and 2nd possession for each team coming up. But first, here's Adnan Burke. All right, Adnan, thank you. Adnan will keep you posted on everything else going on around college football on a busy, important night as flags fly everywhere.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Dennis Daly, the senior from Columbia. Second false start on South Carolina. That's how they came out of the opening touchback.
Yeah, Will Muschamp has really been excited about the way Jake Bentley has played since he missed the Missouri game. He has been on fire. You see, much more efficient throwing the football. He has to protect the ball continuing tonight.
Here's Bentley to throw. Hitting 6 of his first 8. Completes another one. That's Shi Smith on the receiving end. His 4th catch for the underrated Shi Smith.
I was wondering how Jake Bentley would come out and play in this game. It has not gone well for him the last couple of years against Clemson.
Bentley looks downfield, then goes underneath to Dowdle. Isaiah Simmons, another tackle for him, and a bring up a 3rd down.
They lost 34-10 last year, but it was 34-0 in the 4th quarter. Clemson was up. It was a beatdown, so you wonder, does South Carolina really believe they can come into Death Valley and beat the number 2 team in the country? So far, the signs are good for them.
2 years ago, they lost here 56-7. Here's 3rd and 7. Bentley to throw for with pressure in his face, able to unload and complete it. Shi Smith again, his 5th grab, and they'll move the sticks, Todd.
Well, the thing that really has impressed me early on with Bentley is that he's hanging in the pocket. You see the pressure coming in his face. He doesn't back down, stares down the gun barrel, and is able to deliver the 1st down.
Todd, great job by the right guard Hutcherson there to block Wilkins.
Again, it's Shi Smith. Oh, takes a big pounding by A.J. Terrell. Terrell was not messing around there, sending a message.
These are the kinds of hits in rivalry games that set the tone. Both guys, they don't want to hit their heads, right? Because you get a penalty there, so they're hitting their bodies.
Looked like Smith thought he was going to hand out some punishment there, and he was on the receiving end. 6 catches, 61 yards so far for Shi Smith. Here's 2nd down and 8. This one has a good feel to it tonight. Here comes pressure. Blitz is not picked up. Bentley gets rid of it. And in the neighborhood of Deebo Samuel.
Chalk that one up to Brent Venables. He got Jake Bentley on that one. Bentley was not anticipating that blitz. And the linebacker was not picked up, and there was no hot receiver for Bentley to go through. He was very fortunate to be able to buy some time and get rid of that football.
Bring up a 3rd down and 8. Just the 3rd incompletion so far for Bentley. And as you see, that Clemson front, that's an NFL front. And they are among the leaders in the nation in tackles for losses and sacks.
And they're going to bring in Xavier Thomas, the true freshman, to rush on the right tackle, the freshman.
Here's Bentley. Nowhere to go. Austin Bryant was there first. And a sack to the season total for the Tigers.
It's an embarrassment of riches for Clemson when they get in this 3rd down package. They bring in 4 elite pass rushers, and this time Bryant gets matched up on the tight end, Kyle Markway, and that's a no match for Bryant.
And we'll get our first punt of the night. Joseph Charlton from his own 30. One of the best punters in the nation. Maury Rogers will let it bounce. And it's going to be down at the 3-yard line. Keenan Nixon in the perfect spot. It's a 55-yard punt. That will have Clemson backed up with the football after a strong defense. And there's one decision that was made.
Yeah, J.C. Horn, the true freshman who was an integral part of this secondary, tried to go out in warm-ups and was just not able to go. So they're even more shorthanded than we thought.
Trevor Lawrence and this Clemson offense, they are backed up. Little Travis Etienne, and they're pushing the pile out to the 11-yard line. Daniel Fennell made the tackle.
You know, J.C. Horn, they're really excited about him. He's the Joe Horn's son, obviously, there he got dressed out and tried to go. You see that big, heavy wrap on his left foot and ankle. And I think it was the right decision because he could not move in pregame well enough to get out and play.
Hurt his ankle on the first play last week. They destroyed the Mocks 49-9. Here's Lawrence rolling to his right, surveying the field and dumping it off to the completion for T. Higgins. It's a catch, and it's a first down. Noticeable difference in the start out of Trevor Lawrence from last week to this week. He starts off perfect, 5 for 5. Seemed a bit off the mark last week. Was not helped out by a bunch of drops and some misses. Here's Justin Ross on the completion. Got blockers in front of him all the way down the field. Justin Falcinelli providing the escort. Gain of 26.
Justin Ross, as we talked about earlier, is really emerging as a big-time playmaker. He's a vertical weapon, a guy who can create after the catch as well. You see here the speed, the quickness, and also some vision in the open field. I'm impressed with Ross as a freshman.
Yeah, you know, Todd, I think the thing last week, 9 drops from this Clemson team, and they got a talking to in practice, so a good sign for them. They're securing the football early.
Here's Etienne right up the middle. He's very close to another first down. Keir Thomas made the stop. You mentioned the drops, Grease, last week. Dabo told us, according to his count, 9 drops, but Lawrence missed on 6 throws. He said that's 15 plays. I did the math for you. You can complete half of those, and it's a whole different story.
Well, it's one of the most explosive offenses in college football. So if you have 15 more connections, that's 15 more opportunities, obviously, to be explosive.
You're not going to get them all from this Sullivan. Here's Renfro. Another first down inside of the 40. And the Tigers are humming here on offense in their second possession tonight.
There's no question that this offense is the most dangerous when they are running the football, and then off of that run game, they're throwing the ball well. Last week, they didn't run it well enough in the first half against Duke, and that's why they sputtered. But they've got both the run and pass game going early here.
You said in the break that the first Clemson touchdown drive was a little too easy, and they're moving down the field here again with some ease. Lawrence will look to his left and throw to his right to Feaster. He stays on his feet. They'll drag a few white jerseys with him. Close to another first down. So we come up on the final minute of quarter number 1.
And really, your only hope if you're Will Muschamp is you got to try to get some turnovers, try to steal some possessions, because you're not going to consistently be able to stop Clemson, especially with all these injuries. So guys like in the secondary have to be ripping at that football when Etienne and others come into the second level.
Second down and 3. Lawrence is yet to miss tonight. And there it is, his first miss, looking for T. Higgins. Turnovers have been a problem for South Carolina, Greece. They rank 111th in the country. They're -3 for the season. That's just one of the problems for Will Muschamp and company in his 3rd year, and they've shown a lot of progress this season.
They have, and all 4 losses this year have been to teams that are currently ranked in the top 25. So they've been no slouches, but he certainly needs a signature win.
It's called 3rd and 2.5. Here's Lawrence, going to run for it. Takes a shot, picks up a few more extra yards. Sherrod Green put the lick on Lawrence. 10-yard gain as we hit the final half minute of the quarter.
And Keir Thomas is still down on the ground. You want to make a big living taking these kinds of hits. You like the toughness from your quarterback, but you also want him to be smart. And Keir Thomas, another defensive end on the ground for Carolina. They cannot afford to lose anybody else on this defense.
All-pro safety Darren Woodson, our guy Woody. Monday night, we've got a big AFC battle. Deshaun Watson and the Texans taking on the Titans. That's our Monday night football matchup this week. Here's Lawrence, running to his right and throwing it across his body, and could not hook up with Cannon Smith, who has 3 catches on the season, looking for a 4th.
Boy, true freshman R.J. Roderick, the safety, diagnosed it perfectly. He just didn't make the play. He saw it, he read it, knew he was throwing back on that weak side seam, just didn't get there in time.
Lawrence started 8 of 8, and he's missed on his last 2 throws. 21 ticks left in the quarter, tied at 7. Lawrence a throw again. 6-1 in there. This one is caught for the score. T. Higgins, and the Tigers on top. .22 yards for the score. How do you like those 95-yard scoring drives? Remember, they were backed up all the way to the 5. Roar down the field as Tigers often do. 10 plays, 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And Greg Hugel benefits from kicking a lot of extra points. Oh, bunch on the snap there. On the hold, I beg your pardon. Will Sweeney had some problems putting that football down. And Hugel, the 5th-year senior, able to get it through.
Levy, at 6'4", 210 pounds, T. Higgins is a nightmare on the outside, and he runs these routes. He's inside, breaking seam routes, and this ball thrown perfectly by Trevor Lawrence, but that is almost impossible to stop when you're that accurate with the football. And young Trevor Lawrence, watch him feel this after he gets this touchdown. He looks right at South Carolina's bench, right at Will Muschamp.
Hey, welcome to the rivalry, kid.
Well, we talked about Trevor Lawrence coming in as a freshman, first time playing in this game, undefeated, record on the line right now, and was he going to have some nerves early on? I haven't seen any. He's really been poised and got off to a really fast start so far.
I love to see that from a quarterback, right? When you have the confidence to rear back and fire that missile for a touchdown and then look right at the opposing bench, you love that confidence in your quarterback.
It's like Dabo enjoyed it as well. 17 seconds left. Again, there's more than one Sweeney in this game. Will Sweeney is the holder. So you see he had some problem. Bit of a low snap, I guess, and then good composure by Will, the sophomore, to put it down.
Yeah, great job by Heidel, the kicker, to stay with it.
On a day full of emotions. By the way, send you. He's been walking around like someone stole his puppy ever since about, I don't know, 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. Legend Joey might get into that at halftime.
Tough goal.
Yeah. Well, you hung around in the first quarter. All right. Jake Bentley to throw, and we'll see if South Carolina has an answer for that Clemson 95-yard scoring drive, which ties their longest scoring drive of the season.
Well, if for nothing else, that South Carolina needs to give their defense a break. You mentioned 95 yards. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and put them right back on the field.
A couple of 10-play drives. They will get the benefit of the end of the quarter. Ball is tipped and caught by Shi Smith. His 7th grab already. 7 catches in the first quarter for Shi Smith.
That's going to be one of those nights because they're not going to be able to run the ball consistently between the tackles, so they've got to throw those quick screens and quick throws to Samuel and Smith in the slot.
So that will do it for quarter number 1. Clemson closing out their regular season here tonight with a 14-7 lead over their arch rivals after 1. Cam coverage of the game streaming live on the ESPN app and on Xfinity X1. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, and our outstanding crew wishing you all a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Football, food, family, in whatever order you so choose. Here's Deebo Samuel being walked backwards by Kendall Joseph and a host of Tigers.
Be interesting to see how the offensive coordinator Brian McClendon for South Carolina chooses to use tempo here. You know that they want to go up tempo and keep Clemson's defensive front out there and try to tire them out. But the problem is you can't go so fast that you put your defense at risk.
Here's Bentley with all sorts of time, able to complete to Brian Edwards. Edwards stays on his feet and is lassoed down at the end by Denzel Johnson. For Brian Edwards, That's his 36th consecutive game with a reception. That's every game of his South Carolina career.
Well, and Clemson is very familiar with Bryan Edwards. They would have loved to have him here in Death Valley, but he decided to go to South Carolina, and he's been one of the best receivers in the SEC, in my opinion, this season. A big, strong target for Jake Bentley.
On 1st down and 10. Across midfield. Mon Denson, the ball carrier. Stopped by Cleveland Furl. Denson is one of a host of running backs. It is a running back group by committee. You'd like to have one guy stand out, but due to injuries and different kinds of abilities, they've gone with a host of running backs. What a catch through traffic. Amazing that Bryan Edwards able to come up with that grab.
Amazing that Tanner Muse didn't intercept that ball. He was in position. I don't think he could pick the ball up out of the hand of Bentley. That's why he missed it.
I'd like to see that one again.
Well, let's try to get that done for you.
Well, I ask and you shall receive.
There you go. Look at Muse, 19. He's playing that linebacker position. He reads it, just misses. It looked like it may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Muse knows. He knows. Redshirt junior, Belmont, North Carolina. Another one of his Clemson Tigers. Feels like he's been here forever.
See South Carolina taking their time. They're using a lot of different tempos, even in this drive.
Off the play fake. Bentley faked it to Denson, then throws it to him. Mon Denson on the receiving end for a gain of 13.
Really nice awareness from Jake Bentley, knowing where all his receivers are. He wanted to throw that ball to the left. Nobody was there. He was getting pressure, and he quickly turned, and his head went right to his 4th receiver, the running back.
1st down and 10. Bentley to throw for it. And let's see if a flag comes out, and it does. Chavis Dawkins is being held back by Trayvon Mullen. See if that's a holding or a pass interference, but you get the idea.
Yeah, they're going to get Mullen. He clearly was holding Dawkins. If he didn't, this may have been a touchdown.
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. That's a spot foul with an automatic 1st down.
Talked about Edwards and a player that Clemson would have liked to have gotten. Clemson actually got his grandfather, so there were Tiger bloodlines in there, and he still passed and went to Columbia instead. 1st down and goal. Inside the 5. Pressure coming at Bentley. Throws to the back of the end zone. Deebo Samuel was there, so too was Isaiah Simmons.
Really nice job by A.J. Terrell on the outside. This is just that sprint out play that we see every college team run. And if you're playing man-to-man coverage, it's difficult to guard it. But Terrell stayed outside and took away that easy throw and forced Bentley to throw the football away.
2nd down and goal at the Clemson 3.
Got man-to-man with any of these receivers that Jake Bentley wants to throw to.
One clap, hands the football to Denson. Maybe a yard or 2. Kendall Joseph was the first man to make the contact, and then got some help from his friends. 3rd down and goal upcoming.
And Kendall Joseph has had the luxury of guys like Lawrence and Wilkins up front. They get double teamed on almost every play, and Joseph is the one that gets to run free on the 2nd level.
They're getting no movement up front on the offensive line for South Carolina, which you had to expect against this great defensive line, but if they're going to get it done, it's got to be through the air down here.
Yeah, Todd, down here especially, it becomes difficult to throw the ball because the windows are tightened down and they can't run it.
And difficult to hear as well. There's 5 on the play clock, and Will Muschamp.
1st charge timeout.
Take his
South
first
Carolina.
timeout. We'll come back. 3rd and goal. Clemson 3. South Carolina looking to tie. It's loud in here. I'm sure whatever you said was clever. I look forward to seeing it when I watch the game back on DVR.
I prefer not to hear what Joey has to say anyway.
3rd down and 3.
Man-to-man down here with Edwards.
3rd and goal from the 3. Denson is the single setback behind Bentley. Out of the timeout. Here's Bentley, lofts one. And he and Shi Smith could not connect. Smith was looking to his right, and the throw went to his left.
I understand why you targeted Isaiah Simmons, right? He's a converted safety, and you get Shi Smith one-on-one on him, but that's a difficult throw.
How about this call? South Carolina admitting they didn't come here for a haircut. They came to win the game.
Kick the field goal. Take the points.
That's where Will Muschamp disagrees. Here's 4th and goal from the 3. Blitz is picked up. Bentley throws back in the end zone, and it's through the hands of Bryan Edwards. And the Tigers defense holds.
I get it. You come in, you want to be aggressive. You're in a hostile territory in a rivalry game, but you also have to be smart. You have an opportunity to stay in this football game, take the points. This is not an easy defense to convert against, and that play really had no chance.
And that throw, while it did go through Edwards' hands, I'm not sure he would have come down with 1 foot in bounds anyway. But South Carolina's clearly thinking field goals are not going to beat Clemson in this place here tonight. And they're taking a shot. And now they find themselves on defense. And Clemson with a long field in front of them. From their own 3, this drive will start with Tavian Feaster. Again, we've already seen a 95-yard drive for Clemson that tied their season long. And so a chance to set a new record for this season, starting at their own 3.
And right off the bat, South Carolina's offense has had 2 sustained drives, 1 of 12 plays, and now that one was another 11 plays, but all for naught on that last drive.
Lawrence, Amari Rogers on the receiving end. Daniel Fennell made the stop. Looked like Lawrence had to throw through his own player there. So you see some of the numbers from this game. The yards very close. Time of possession to this point, advantage South Carolina.
Been a really well-played game so far. You know, sometimes these emotional games, you wonder in the first quarter if there's nerves, but this has been a really well-played game so far. Both quarterbacks playing well.
Lawrence got really close to Feaster, so had to throw it through Feaster. Out to Rogers that time. Here's 3rd down and 3, taking a shot down the sideline, and it's caught. T. Higgins at the 40, and a flag comes in late. Let's see if he got Higgins for the push-off.
T. Higgins now in his sophomore year is really blossoming into a big-time wide receiver for Clemson. And knowing where they're
Pass
going.
interference on the defense, number 5. That penalty. First down.
It's number 9. That's Keyshawn Nixon who got flagged.
Correction, number 9 on the penalty. Number 9 on the penalty.
Obviously listening to our broadcast.
I was just going to say, knowing where Clemson wants to go at the end of this season, they're going to need T. Higgins. They're going to need Justin Ross to go up and make physical plays like that with some of the defenses that you're going to see in the playoff.
And that was on a 3rd and 3, Grease. Now it's going for the 1st down, trying to get a big chunk play there. And it's 1st down and 10. Plenty of breathing room again on a drive that started from their own 3. Lawrence wants more. Throws and completes to Justin Ross. Took a pretty good shot at the 46 of South Carolina from Stephen Montag.
Boy, what a luxury for Lawrence to have these 2 receivers. Now as a true freshman, Ross, that is very well done from a concentration standpoint, knowing you're going to get hit by that safety and still bringing that ball in.
On 1st down and 10. That's Feaster. Right up the gut into the heart of that South Carolina defense. They've softened them up in the middle because they've been passed into the outside. Gain of 16 on the play. Move the chains, and they'll keep on moving on 1st and 10. Here's Feaster again, that soft underbelly of the Gamecocks defense.
Well, one of the most underappreciated players on this Clemson offense is Garrett Williams, the H-back. But on back-to-back plays, number 44 inserts into the hole, blocks the linebacker, and allows Feaster to get to the second level.
2nd down and 2. Quick throw. Out to Rogers, trying to gain the edge and the 1st down. The yard to gain line, and he got it. And we'll move the sticks again. Clemson on the move inside the red zone.
South Carolina has another defender down on the ground. I have not seen a team in college football to have these kinds of injuries on one side of the ball.
Damani Staley is down. Was going on, and they charged onto the field. The Gamecocks won that year 21-14, and those pranksters, they faced no punishment for the stunt. How did they let those kids get away with it?
They look like the football players. Must not have been a very good year for them.
Right. Well, actually, it was not a good year at that point. So, a little Greek life. ETN the ball carrier, and a flag comes in late. Sherrod Green has replaced Damani Staley, who was injured prior to our break.
Look like they're going to get a hands to the face on defense. Maybe on Javon Kinlaw.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 3 on the defense. Half the distance. 1st down.
Javon Kinlaw.
He was locked up with John Simpson, the left guard, and just trying to finish the play, and got his hands up around the face and puts this South Carolina defense in a hole. Here's number 3.
That's an easy call. 1st down and goal. Again, this drive started from their own 3-yard line. It's ETN. Inside the 5-yard line. The next touchdown rushing that Travis Etienne scores will be his 18th of the season. That will set a new single-season record for a Clemson running back. I imagine he's aware of that. So too probably is Dabo. He knows everything going on with this program. On the ground, Etienne not going to get there. 3rd down and goal. Kobe Smith came up to make the stop. Smith, one of the guys coaches calls a glue guy. And here come the big fellas. That was the excitement from the crowd. Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins are in there.
The fridge package.
So I don't think Etienne's going to get this rushing touch. And they have gone play fake to these guys and thrown for the score before. Let's see what they do here. On the ground, give it to Christian Wilkins. Doesn't get there. How about that? Somebody made a business decision. Rick Sandage, the freshman from Concord, North Carolina.
Well, if you're going to bring the fridge package in, right, with 340 pounds and 315 pounds, you better have somebody like Sandage who weighs 290 himself to stand him up.
And how about this? Dabo says you can go for it. I'll go for it. 4th and goal. Pitch to Wilkins with momentum into the end zone for the touchdown. Christian Wilkins will not be denied on the 2nd attempt.
How about the pitch to the big fella? with the big smile on his face. He got stood up on the previous play, so you pitch it to him and let him show his athleticism.
How about the Heisman pose, too?
He's got ball skills.
After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 42 on Clemson. That penalty being forced on the kickoff. That is number 42's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. The touchdown is good.
So Wilkins is definitely filling up the stat sheet in every way.
Well, look at Dabo. Dabo's not happy about it.
No, he's hot.
No, he is not happy about it. I thought he might let him go. He took him off the field goal team, brought him over on the sideline just to talk to him, which is not a good look in your last game playing in this stadium.
Wow. Extra point on the way and good. So really in a matter of seconds, it's all smiles and a big party for Wilkins, and Dabo's high-fiving and dancing on the sideline, then it quickly turns. Here's Wilkins for the score.
And he pushes away and does the pose, which, you know, Dabo's about the team. I don't have a problem with that, but Dabo Swinney, he's the author of the culture here. There's nobody else. And he didn't like it, and he's going to tell, no matter who you are, he's going to tell you about it. And Christian Wilkins is his best player on his entire team, and he just dressed him down on the sideline in front of everybody.
On national TV, and I'm sure part of the conversation would be, hey, I give you that kind of opportunity to do that, to do what you want to do, and you turn around and embarrass me and our program like that.
And again, I think the Heisman pose is something that's sacred in college football, and he's a jokester. I mean, Christian Williams is a jokester.
He's a big personality.
He plays the game the right way, and there's a lot of people out there that say, you know what, that's not a big deal, myself included, but not Dabo Swinney.
Yep. I didn't have a problem with the celebration. I think it's fun. I wouldn't have thrown the flag either. Here's Deebo Samuel now, as Clemson has opened up a 2-touchdown lead. Here's Adnan Virk, who's a whole lot of fun. I got to be honest, Adnan, I was expecting a little more from you on the way back there. We could hear you that time. I was looking forward to getting into some Woody repartee or something, but we're good. It's a long night. 7:17 to go.
A little sleepy back there in the studio, evidently.
It's been a long night, I'm sure. Another half day for Adnan.
That's what hanging around Galloway will do to you, Adnan.
Really, do you want to fire shots at Galloway with halftime coming up? I got a feeling he's getting the last laugh tonight, Bruce. All right. We'll see how South Carolina can answer. On the ground, he's been the workhorse, Mon Denson. So the story of the game to this point is Will Muschamp going for it down at one end on a 4th and goal from the 3 and not getting it. And Clemson goes 97 yards the other way. They have a 4th and goal. They go for it and get it.
Well, I got to be honest. If I had Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins, I would have gone for it too on 4th and 1. Unfortunately for Will Muschamp, he doesn't have that option.
It's a matter of personnel. Here's Jake Bentley now. Bentley throwing on the run and has it knocked away. Tannemu's got a hand on it. 3rd and 5.
Right off the bat, this is a big 3rd down in this game. Very easily this game could get out of hand if you don't convert here for South Carolina and give the ball back to Clemson. So take your time here, as Brian McClendon is doing. Get your best play called, and Jake Bentley needs to execute and convert.
3rd and 5. Clemson has had 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. Christian Wilkins, after the tongue lashing, is back in the game. Here's gonna take a shot late and complete. Able to hook up with Keel Pollard. And he will go the distance, 67 yards to the house. And that will silence the crowd on a 3rd down play. Bentley able to find Pollard for the score.
He just got lost. He's going to sprint out. He's going to sprint out this way. Watch all of the defense go this way, and it opens up the middle of the field for Pollard. Get to this point here. Look at Pollard. He's got his hands up wide open here. A nice job by Bentley of recognizing it, knowing he's going to be open down the middle, and then making the throw.
That just got through Muse. And the extra point on the way, and it is good. But just when you start to wonder where this game was headed, South Carolina says this game is staying right here. The big play. Bentley to Keel Pollard. We've got ourselves a ball game. This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like the Clemson Tigers by awarding the best student section of the year. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to find out if your team made this week's rankings and to see how your school can compete. One of the great fan bases in the country here at Clemson. They show up. They've banged out the building once again here tonight in Death Valley. With a 21-14 lead and the ball. Darian Kendrick trying to make some people miss. And he's out to the 30-yard line. Go back to that last touchdown.
You know, Leaves, Jake Bentley's been playing his best football as of late of his career, and it's for plays like this. He's going to roll out. He wants to throw the ball to the outside, but both receivers are covered. There's nowhere to go with that football. But look at him readjust. Look at Christian Wilkins bearing down. Now, he knows Christian Wilkins is coming. It takes guts to come back and make that throw, to pull up on a rollout because you know you're not protected on the weak side. That is as good as you can do it if you're Jake Bentley, and it's a big reason why South Carolina is in this game.
Keel Pollard scored a touchdown, his first career touchdown on opening night of the season against Coastal Carolina. And then he scores the touchdown here tonight in what was supposed to be the regular season finale for South Carolina. They'll play another game next week against Akron as a makeup game. That's ETN slammed into by R.J. Roderick. Second down and short. An opportunity to do something here for Clemson. Trevor Lawrence on the ground. ETN hits the spin cycle, and he has first down yards, and then we'll get thrown back. And here's Adnan. All right.
I'm not going to ask what Joey's record was against Michigan. Somebody might look that up.
Actually, Ben has it for you. 1-2-1 Galloway against Michigan. Here's Lawrence on the run. He'll tuck it and go. Why not? Kid can scoot right down the sideline. And gingerly run out of bounds at the 25. It's a gain of 32 yards for Trevor Lawrence. There's an injured player way back at the 30-yard line.
I think it's Javon Kinlaw, and he's upset. He was in the backfield with an opportunity to get Trevor Lawrence on the ground, and it looked like his left leg buckled, and he's frustrated. He's pounding the ground. The junior from Charleston, South Carolina, understands the importance of this rivalry and wanted to come in and play well. He's their best defensive lineman. And take a look as he gets into the backfield. Yep, that right leg just kind of buckles. Adds injury to insult.
Amazing how many Gamecock defensive players have gone down coming into this game and even here tonight. See if he's backed up by Josh Belk, who was in Clemson's camp for transferring. Here's Adam Choice running away from people. Rashad Fenton able to drag him down before he hit pay dirt. Gain of 24. Choice.
That's smart. Smart by Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott. Their best defensive lineman goes out, running right up the gut.
So many options for this Clemson offense. So many weapons. First down and goal from the 2. On the ground, it's Choice again. Why not? He got you down there. In for the touchdown, Adam Choice. Clemson has had the football 4 times tonight, Grease. All 4 resulting in touchdowns.
And Will Muschamp, he doesn't, on the sideline, he's exasperated. It's not a lack of effort. They just have so many injuries that they have no chance of stopping Clemson tonight on a consistent basis.
Extra point is on the way. Clemson, look, I mean, this game might not be over, but the Tigers have just been blowing the doors off of people. When you look at it, go back to the early October, Wake Forest got rolled 63-3. There was the NC State one was 41-7. Stop me if you've heard this one before. 59-10. How about Louisville to the tune of 77-16? Last week able to overcome a 6-0 deficit to win 35-6. The closest game was the game against Boston College, which they only won by 20. But on average, over the last 6 games, they're winning by 42 points on average. I mean, that's obscene numbers.
Yeah, and it was interesting talking with Will Muschamp about that. He said, listen, the ACC is not good, and there's so much discrepancy between the SEC and the ACC.
Right.
He really felt like he had an opportunity to come in here and play Clemson much like Texas A&M did, and to be in a ball game, but defensively they just have not been able to find any answers.
That was the takeaway from the Will Muschamp conversation. He hammered home the point. They don't see what we see every single week. Now, you know, that might be a 1-year knock on the ACC. It is a down year in the conference.
There's no question.
There's Clemson and there's everyone else, and we'll see what Pitt can do next week in the conference championship game. But there have been teams who were very good a year or 2 years ago, making it one of the better conferences. Just not this year.
There's no question, and obviously Louisville has cratered, and Florida State is struggling. Miami has been up and down, so it certainly has been a tough year for the ACC, but Clemson doesn't care, right? They know where they want to go. They've handled their business. They've played their schedule. You can only play who's on your schedule.
Right. They went to College Station early.
Right, and now they're handing it to South Carolina, which is a good football team.
28-14. See the Carolina answer. Bentley throws, got a man wide open. It's Samuel, and it's tail lights. Touchdown. Deebo Samuel. It's 75-yard strike from Jake Bentley. And just when you want to count out the Gamecocks, they answer back. They clap back.
Boy, and Kayvon Wallace just sat on Deebo Samuel. It's just a post route to the middle of the field, and this is not going to make Brent Venables happy. 2 big plays by South Carolina's offense and back-to-back drives for touchdowns.
And we have touchdowns on consecutive plays. 67 yards for Clemson on the last play, and then a 75-yard scoring strike for South Carolina.
Boy, as good as Clemson's offense has been in this game, this defense has gotten some cracks with big plays in the secondary.
And that comes 12 seconds after Clemson score. Give me more. Where's Dad? Yes, he's too humble to admit that, but yes, that is true. We see 3-0 as starting quarterback, Michigan against Ohio State. Not too many people can make that claim.
Let's go back and take a look at that last touchdown. Really great design by Brian McClendon, the offensive coordinator. These are 2 offensive tackles out here. That makes Clemson take 2 of their best pass rushers in Farrell and Bryant out of the formation, so they're not rushing. That's a win. Now you get matched up with Deebo Samuel on a safety and Kayvon Wallace, and it's an easy throw for Jake Bentley. Really well designed by Brian McClendon.
And then it's so well designed, Dabo says to Venables, hey, how come we didn't figure that out? We weren't on top of that. 28-21. The Gamecocks say, how's that 4-touchdown underdog thing looking right now? Here's Lynn J. Dixon getting into the act. His first carry. We'll see where he stepped out. They spread the wealth a week ago. We had carries from Ty Thomason and Ryan McClain late in the game with a blowout against Duke, 35-6. And we'll see how deep the running backs go for Clemson in this one.
And if I'm Clemson, I'm going to continue to pound the football because this defensive front now without Javon Kinlaw is really susceptible in the middle.
On the ground, Lynn J. Dixon. They'll move forward. We'll see where they spot it. They should be short of the first down. And South Carolina would love to have any kind of resemblance to this kind of running game that Clemson has working for them.
Well, and Dabo Swinney last week against Duke challenged this offensive line. They didn't run the ball well in the first half, but they came out in the second half. And Mitch Hyatt, Simpson, Falcinelli, they started to come off the football and pounded Duke into submission.
On the ground, Etienne has the first down. And Dabo told us this week that he really challenged the entire team at halftime a week ago, like he has not challenged them all season long. And that was the silver lining, right? The coaches love that. You win the game, but you still have a lot of things to clean up, and you can use that as a motivation for the next week's game.
Yeah, no question. When everybody looks at the schedule, they're going to look at a blowout win over Duke, 35-6. But that game was in question at halftime. They were up 13-6.
Quick out to Kendrick. Across the 40, another first down. They can't bring him down. They push him out. Clock winds to under 3 minutes left to go here in the half. They'll move to 6 and restart the clock.
When you set out with your offensive game plan, if you're Clemson, you want to be as efficient as they've been tonight. They've had certainly it going on all levels, running the ball inside, throwing the ball on the outside, both on the perimeter, but also downfield to T. Higgins and Ross.
It's Etienne. Just back to the line of scrimmage. South Carolina in desperate need of a stop. You see what Clemson has done. I mean, there are touchdown drives and there are touchdown drives. No short fields here tonight.
So Dabo really wanted to work on punting. He said that was an area that they wanted to get better, and they're not going to get any practice on that tonight.
They fixed that last week. Here's Lawrence, the throw. Trying a little back shoulder, was behind, too far behind T. Higgins. Will Spires punted 7 times last week, and they gave him the Special Teams Player of the Week award. I mean, that's clean living, right? When Dabo says our biggest concern right now is the punting game, and bam, they're able to fix that right away. We'll move on to the next thing. There's 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, next thing is this big 3rd and 9. If South Carolina can somehow, some way get a stop here before halftime and be in a one-score game with an opportunity to go down and get points before half, that'd be a huge win.
Clemson will get the ball to start the second half. Here's Lawrence. Throws, and Ross slipped down. And it will go as an incomplete pass and bring up a 4th down.
You take it however you can get it. If you're South Carolina, and Ross, as you mentioned, just slipped. It looked like the field on that side over there a little bit chopped up. If he were able to keep his feet, make that catch, they had enough for the first down.
And they're gathering with the aforementioned Will Spires on the field. See if we get our first Clemson punt of the night. And there is Spires. Punted 7 times a week ago. Even got Carson King an opportunity to punt. So Clemson punted 8 times in all.
And Will Muschamp is not buying it. He doesn't even have a returner back. He's looking for the fake.
Spires will boot it in the air. See if he can get a cushy landing. And it goes into the end zone. Well, on Sunday, December the 2nd, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff semifinal matchups in the Capital One Orange Bowl and the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. You can stream that show and every ESPN show with the ESPN app. Start your free trial of ESPN Plus today. College football playoff semifinals. We played on the 29th of December. The championship game, the 7th of January. Levi's Stadium, home of the 49ers.
Dabo did not like that punt was not down. It was well executed. They had a bunch of players down there and allowed it to get into the end zone.
Samuel again.
Clemson defensively has got to settle down here. Their last 2 drives, big plays for touchdowns. Now a 2-minute drill here. They've got to settle down. They've replaced Kayvon Wallace with Denzel Johnson at safety.
Here's Bentley now. 90 seconds to go in the half. Able to complete to Brian Edwards with some running room. They'll cut it to the middle and out to the 45-yard line. A flag comes in.
And another busted coverage for Clemson. Way too much space for Brian Edwards on the outside, and that flag came down at the line of scrimmage.
Ineligible player downfield on the offense, number 1. He was covered up and went downfield on the pass. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So I thought Dabo's frustration on the sideline was the punt going into the end zone. It's a net of about 16 yards when you're hoping for a cushy landing and try to pin him back deep, and that was not the case.
And he's looking at his defense saying, well, what are you doing? And you're looking at Isaiah Simmons, who was responsible for that flat. And there's been some breakdowns for Clemson in the secondary. They need to shore it up here in this drive, get to halftime to make the adjustments.
Nullifies a 21-yard gain by South Carolina. The yards are piling up. Here's Bentley, able to throw and complete to Casey Crosby, the tight end. His first catch of the night.
So right now, Clemson has replaced 2 of their starters. I mentioned Kayvon Wallace, and now they've taken Isaiah Simmons out, and they have Jalen Williams in at that nickel.
Bentley with all sorts of time, intercepted, and it is picked off. J.D. Davis on the interception, and the first turnover of the night belongs to Clemson.
I was standing right behind Jake Bentley there in the end zone, watching his view of the play, and he didn't see the linebacker. He went through his progressions, did not see the linebacker working underneath, just hands him one for an interception.
Yeah, Todd, he was looking outside to the right. He tried to come back to his 3rd receiver and just telegraphed it to Shi Smith. And J.D. Davis, when you needed a play, Clemson needed to stop the bleeding on defense, makes a huge interception.
The first career interception for the graduate student and the son of the great Clemson Tiger Jeff. Amari Rogers will cut inside. Touchdown. Now there is a flag on the field. And we'll see if Rogers pushed off. The South Carolina sideline's already motioning. Let's bring that back.
Pass interference. Offense, number 3. 15-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
They threw this ball, Trevor Lawrence did, on the back shoulder, and Amari Rogers, take a look at his left arm. Does he push off just a little bit? I mean, that's kind of a ticky-tack call. I would have kept the flag in my pocket there.
And most of this crowd will agree. Better than 81,000 on hand tonight at Clemson's Memorial Stadium. With a minute left in the first half. Clemson has all 3 timeouts. At the South Carolina 48. Lawrence will throw. Finds Rogers there, down to the 40. See if they spend a timeout there.
Yep.
And they will. That's 1. We'll take that timeout with them. 53 seconds left in the first half. Monday night, it's a big AFC South battle. Deshaun Watson and the Texans, they are red hot. They'll take on the Titans. Coverage kicks off at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Texans owner Bob McNair passed away yesterday. McNair graduated from South Carolina and donated $5 million to their football operations center just last year. Our condolences to the McNair and Texans family. As Trevor Lawrence throws and completes. Hunter Renfrow. Haven't heard much from him in the second quarter. See if they use another timeout. Clemson will. Down to one left, 45 ticks.
You see the arm strength from Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that play was off schedule. He moves around, buys a little bit of time, and then he's just got this rocket for an arm. The initial play is not there, doesn't panic. Steps into the pocket, finds Renfrow, and then fires a bullet. And a smart timeout from Dabo Swinney.
And Brian, it tells you the confidence that Dabo Swinney has in his freshman quarterback. They could have put a knee on it. They could have gone into halftime, up a touchdown, but decided to just to stay aggressive with their young quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive they are here on third down. And if they get this first down, stop the clock, maybe spike it to preserve that timeout, and maybe take a couple of shots to the end zone, and you can still throw it in the middle of the field because you have that timeout.
45 seconds left. It's a 3rd and 2.
Whatever you decide to do, you better have talked about it on the sideline if you convert here, what you're going to do immediately.
South Carolina stopped them on the last 3rd down opportunity. Not this time.
There it is.
Feaster.
Now you clock it. He's going to get up. See, they organize this during the timeout. It's well done. For a freshman quarterback, you can't take anything for granted, right? You got to practice all of those things, and that was really well executed there by Trevor.
I talked to Todd when we opened the show tonight. You talk about, you're a freshman to start the season. Are you still really a freshman at this point in the season? You've had a lot of game experience, a lot of big situations, learned a lot.
Yeah, but you're still a freshman because you've never played in a rivalry game like this. And if they're fortunate, he's never played a championship game, which he'll do next week. Right. And then if they're fortunate enough to get to the playoff, that'll be a first experience.
Lots of lessons to learn in the coming weeks for the Clemson young quarterback who throws, was looking for Justin Ross. The crowd screaming for a flag. And at least to this point, won't get it. 34 seconds left, 3rd down.
Love the play call. Love the aggressive down the field shot there. That was the first ball that Trevor Lawrence has thrown that was off the mark. You got to keep that ball in bounds. If the ball's out of bounds, I'm still waiting to see a completion out of bounds.
Right.
But you got to keep that in the field of play and let Ross go up and get it.
Here's 3rd and 10. Still that one timeout in his pocket. Lawrence crossed the middle of the field and it dropped. It was a little behind Justin Ross, but nobody on him, and he could not haul it in.
Yeah, and that throw was a little short. And if that throw was out in front of Ross, yeah, he could have caught this, but an accurate throw here is an easy touchdown. He just kind of locked his front leg, and the ball came out low. That's a tough catch for a receiver running full speed down the field.
Kinlaw might have gotten a hand on that football. It leads to a field goal try. Here's Greg Hugel from 39 yards away. See if he can make it a 10-point game prior to halftime. On the way and no good. Missed it to the right. I think we've seen all the emotions out of Dabo Swinney so far in this first half. We've seen the highs and we've seen the lows, and Todd's going to talk to him at halftime, so that'll be interesting.
What a huge bullet South Carolina dodges right there. They throw the interception. J.D. Davis gets the ball for them, and they've got an opportunity with all 3 timeouts in a short field, and they come up with 0 points.
And now Clemson will have to watch South Carolina. There's some of those emotions from Coach Swinney. Gamecocks have 2 timeouts left in 25 seconds. And they'll just take their chances going to the locker room trailing by 7.
And what could have been a phantom call on Amari Rogers would have been a touchdown. So I'm sure that Dabo Swinney is going to have something to say to the officials about that.
South Carolina has to be very pleased to only be down by a touchdown at halftime. Clemson will get the football to open up the second half. It's been an up and down half for Dabo Swinney. And the Tigers number 2 in the land. Here is Coach with Tom McShay.
Coach, you have a freshman quarterback playing in a rivalry game. How would you assess this play so far?
He's been great. You know, unfortunate we had the PI on the touchdown, and then we dropped the touchdown right here. We got to make those plays, but doing really good on offense. We're running the football. We've made a lot of big plays. Just defensively, we got to settle down. They've had a couple of unique formations, and it got behind us. We've given up some big plays, so we got to get in here and settle down, see if we can get control in the third quarter.
I appreciate it, Coach.
The 21 points scored by South Carolina. That's the most Clemson has allowed in a first half. That's it. Halftime. It's a 7-point game. Send you back to Adnan, Joey, and Jesse. Joey, be kind. A 1-touchdown, 1-score lead for number 2 Clemson. So a lot of good and some bad by the Tigers in that first half.
Yeah, a lot of good, a lot of great on offense. They were running the ball with efficiency, over 200 yards, and then throwing the ball. Trevor Lawrence got hot in that first half, but the breakdowns on the defensive side, particularly in the secondary, 2 long touchdown passes for South Carolina in that first half. Jake Bentley already over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in 1 half against one of the best defenses in college football.
They are more than just hanging around as we get ready to open up the second half. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, and Todd McShay put the finishing touches on this Thanksgiving weekend. That'll be a touchback, and they'll start out at the 25-yard line. So we saw number 4 Michigan go down earlier. Number 3 Notre Dame is losing, and here's number 2 Clemson with a bit of a fight on their hands. Maybe this is the big shake-up weekend, the drama that everyone has been craving around college football.
That's why this weekend is my favorite weekend by far in college football. Rivalries are just different. They just are.
Right.
Sometimes you get blowouts, but more often than not, till the end, and I think that's what we have here tonight.
Plus, you had a lot of success in your rivalry game. I don't know if you heard. You
Who
were
doesn't like rivalries?
You were 3-0 against Ohio State. We can let that go now. It was that Rose Bowl MVP, and we're moving on to second half action. Travis Etienne will open up the second half as the ball carrier.
I'll tell you honestly, the other reason why I love this week is because for most of these players, for a lot of these players, not most, but for all of these seniors, it's the last time they're going to play in front of their fans. Right. And that's a huge deal, trust me, to each one of these kids and their families.
And they have enjoyed this class. This Clemson class is a class like no other in the conference anyway. Amari Rodgers will come up short of the first down marker. Clemson's trying to win a 52nd victory for this senior class. Only Alabama's class of 2017 won more games, and they won 53. And you talk about the home stadium, Grease. Should they win tonight, they would be 27-1 here at Clemson's Memorial Stadium. Simply amazing. You want to talk about a home field advantage. Third down and a couple. Etienne will get it. He will squirt through the hole and stay on his feet.
And that one loss, right, was to Pitt, which they're going to have an opportunity to avenge next week in the ACC championship game.
That will be a most interesting game. And they have not lost. They have not lost at home since that Pitt game a couple of seasons ago. I think you and McShay were here for that. I was elsewhere.
I remember a great call on a final field goal attempt.
You're not going to hear it tonight. On the ground, Etienne. Oh, it's a face mask. You can see that as Etienne goes out to midfield. 8+ yards on the play.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. Number 42, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And they'll tack on another 15 yards there. The game we were talking about.
Oh, you're not against Pitt, this, are you? Well, the Clemson folks are going to love you.
Well, we were just talking about it, that last loss.
Okay.
Chris Blewett was the kicker. And let's just say he did not. Pat Narduzzi coming up with an excellent game plan as Pitt won here by 1 point. Rosendo Lewis had the face mask penalty. That leads to Adam Choice, the ball carrier now for Clemson.
So Rosendo Lewis in there. He's a backup linebacker, a true freshman, but there's so many injuries on this South Carolina defense, as we mentioned in the first half. They also lost Danny Fennell, the senior, number 35, earlier in this game, who was subbing and filling in for Bryson Allen Williams. So now they've got a true freshman at every level of this defense trying to stop one of the best offenses in the country.
2nd down and 4. Here's Choice. Can't bring him down. Finally, they'll push him back after a gain of a couple. Sherrod Green made the stop.
Well, Dabo clearly came out with a plan a lot like a week ago against Duke, that we're going to run the football, we're going to get physical, and we're going to start wearing out this defensive front that has so many injuries on it.
Well, and Todd, the other thing that you got to remember is they can't substitute. South Carolina can't substitute on defense because they don't have enough players to substitute. So these are the guys you got to roll with the entire second half, and a great strategy to come out and be physical and run them over.
Clemson just moved up and down the field in that first half. I think it's a 3rd down. See the guy behind the background jumping up and down. 2 seconds on the play clock.
First Sharks timeout, Clemson.
And a couple minutes into the 3rd quarter. Clemson will spend a timeout. Wonder if they'll need that down the stretch. So prior to the break, I could tell you that it was definitely a 3rd down situation, Grease. You want to know how I knew?
I love the face here by Muschamp.
What's the deal with the 3rd down guy? Does not everyone know it's 3rd down?
I think he must just be cold over there. There he goes again. Jumping bean.
I don't know what his name is, but from now on, he's 3rd down guy. Does he get as excited on 2nd down? Who knows? Here's 3rd down and 2. It's ETN. And now it's a 1st down. But there is a flag. And we will check the marker before we move those sticks.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
That's Mitch Hyatt, who has the school record for career starts at 54. Can't get any more experienced than Mitch Hyatt. He gets flagged there. Dabo disagreed. You know what that means, Grease?
Another chance for your
3rd down.
3rd down guy.
3rd down guy. Sure he has a name. Here's 3rd down and 12.
Tight man-to-man coverage. A single safety across the field.
Rushing 4. Lofts one. A beautiful throw and grab by Hunter Renfro. 3rd down when the chips are down. It's Renfro who rises up to make the grab.
Identified the matchup on Roderick at safety. That ball is perfectly thrown. And a very similar play there that he got hurt on last week. His head came down, hit the field last week. This time he makes the catch. Very well done.
1st down and 10 after the gain of 25. Here's ETN being dragged down from behind. Lost an article of clothing on the way. Stephen Montack made the stop. When Renfro was down in a prone position being examined last week, Dabo said he was concerned for a second until he walked over and said, "Hey, when are you getting married?" And Renfro knew exactly what the date was, and that's when Dabo said he's going to be just fine. And apparently he is. Not everyone is fine on the field. There's an injured Carolina player. They cannot lose another defensive player. That's Israel Mukwamu, who is injured. He's a true freshman from Louisiana, and he's banged up now. While he's being attended to, we'll take a look at our PlayStation Player Index, and it is the aforementioned Hunter Renfro. You remember this? Everybody remembers it. 2016 college football, the championship game. Alabama, Clemson came down to the last couple seconds. Renfro on the receiving end. He will never be forgotten in these parts. Big gamble by Dabo Swinney to go for it. Here's the grab he made just a moment ago.
One of the best players in college football, and that's plain and simple. And he's one of the greatest stories in college football. I just love covering guys like Hunter Renfro. Walked on to the place he wanted to go to school. Nobody respected him. Nobody thought he could contribute to this program. And he's going to walk out of this stadium tonight. His last time playing in this stadium, and he'll be remembered as one of the best to ever play in this stadium.
Todd, what round are the Patriots going to draft him in?
4.
Very good. And by the way, no one would be surprised if that's the case. Here's Etienne dragging some bodies. See where they spot him. On a serious note, there is a market, there is a place in the NFL for guys who are super clutch like Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, and to me, it's the route. It starts with the route running, his ability to separate, the quickness at the top of his stem and running routes, and then it's the toughness to do the dirty work over the middle. I mean, not a lot of guys want to take the hits that he takes, especially at that size.
John Simpson is now being attended to, the junior left guard. We'll take a timeout. In 24 hours. They're banging the drum. Matt Bockhorst has checked in to replace John Simpson, and he is leading the way for the latest Clemson touchdown, Travis Etienne. And that is a Clemson single-season record for Etienne, his 18th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, you see Bockhorst there. He's fired up, number 65. He came in for John Simpson, and you see the trust they have in him. They run right behind him. He comes off the ball and puts his defensive lineman in the end zone. That's what they teach you as an offensive lineman. Score with your man.
Out of the hold of Will Sweeney. Greg Hugel boots it through, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for the second-ranked Tigers.
You see Bockhorst, the redshirt freshman, number 65 at left guard. Here he is. He's just going to come off the football on Sandage. And watch, he pushes him into the end zone, and Etienne runs right behind him. That's a statement right there, coming off the football.
Take a look at today's unexpected outcome, brought to you by ExxonMobil. It was 5 years ago. This was a top 10 showdown. Connor Shaw had a big night. Touchdown pass there. And Jadeveon Clowney was doing his thing at the college level. With a $1:53 left before Taj Boyd, his pass was intercepted by T.J. Holman, sealing the win for South Carolina. That was the 5th straight victory in the series for South Carolina. And Clemson looks to return the favor. A win tonight would mark 5 in a row for the Tigers in this series. There's Deebo Samuel from the goal line trying to make something happen. Going to bring it out to the 19-yard line. Here's Adnan Burke. Adnan, thank you.
Well, Clemson came out and did what they needed to do coming out of the locker room at halftime. Go right down the field offensively. Now we'll check on that defense, the adjustments that they make with Brent Venables in the secondary, in particular against Jake Bentley.
So here we go. First down and 10. Clemson takes the second half kickoff. They go 75 yards for the score. Here's Jake Bentley, wide open, able to hit Pollard again. Pollard, who had the monster touchdown catch in the first half, able to make the grab. It's gain of 27 on the play.
These Clemson defenders are looking to the sideline quite a bit, and both safeties, Tanner Muse and Denzel Johnson, that time were looking to the sideline, got caught off guard.
Got 4 receivers to the right. Bentley in traffic threw it anyway, and somehow able to get that ball through to Deebo Samuel.
You see Pollard goes right down the middle. You see these guys looking over at the sideline. They snap the ball. They're not ready. And Tanner Muse doesn't even look at the middle of the field. He's a deep half safety. He's responsible for that throw.
Hand off to Mon Denson. With that big gain to Pollard, Jake Bentley breaks Tommy Suggs' record of 316 yards passing. That's the most for a South Carolina quarterback against Clemson. That was set back in 1970. Bentley's up to 340 yards and moving.
Yeah, you see that was Tommy doing the radio for Carolina. Jake Bentley is on fire, and it's all on his shoulders. They can't run the football.
Second down and 9. Look out for Christian Wilkins. It's too late. Second sack of the night for that Clemson defense.
This is what Brent Venables needs to do. You have the best defensive line in the country. You don't need to manufacture any pressure. Play coverage and allow these guys to rush. Nobody on this offensive line for South Carolina can block Christian Wilkins' consistent basis.
3rd and 18, and a jump. Looks like Wadham.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
3rd time this game, 2nd on Wadham time.
Christian Wilkins, there's a reason why he's considered a first-round draft prospect. The quickness and power that he has in the upper body, you're going to try to one-on-one him, there's a really good chance he's going to disrupt the play.
Well, Todd, I would say that the thing that really separates him is his athleticism. He's like a receiver athletically out there playing the defensive line position.
How do you like 3rd and 23 against this Clemson defense? Bentley with good protection, steps into one and fires, and missed his target, Kyle Markway. Tanner Muse had the coverage. 4th down.
And you see the adjustment from Brent Venables. We talk about, coaching in college, and the adjustments at a halftime are so important. They gave up so many yards in the passing game in the first half. They come out with a very different strategy. Rely on your best players up front to get pressure and protect your secondary, and they get this stop defensively.
Here's Charlton on for just his 2nd punt, standing at his own 31. Get it away. And Amari Rogers is back for Clemson. And he'll just let it bounce. It'll bounce out of the end zone for a touchback. 8:08 to go after that 55-yard punt. Christian Wilkins having himself a game. Got a touchdown, got a sack, and an unsportsmanlike conduct as well. Fill in the stat sheet. Expedia reminds us that we are here. Memorial Stadium, Clemson, South Carolina, also known as Death Valley.
You got me with the comma to open the broadcast.
Well, that's how you know it's a real rivalry game. Okay. Clemson, South Carolina. It's 1st and Iptay for Trevor Lawrence. And he's able to complete Justin Ross. And they'll move the chains again. Iptay, the funding arm that started in 1934 here. I pay $10 a year. Do you think the top boosters are still paying $10 and getting great seats?
That's what, that's the seat backs that you got in the stadium. Yeah. That's what that costs. Right?
Yeah. Inflation has taken over, I'm sure. Iptay, it's everywhere. Just like all in for Dabo. Tavian Feaster crosses midfield.
Clemson is doing whatever they want, whenever they want offensively. They can run it, they can throw it, play action. We've got the burners on the outside with Ross and Higgins, and the running game has been consistent, even with the loss of John Simpson on that last drive.
On 1st down and 10, across midfield is Trevor Lawrence. Has good protection. And let's see if that's a catch, or was he out of bounds? Justin Ross. Out of bounds. 2nd down. What other team around the country, Grease? So a lot of teams with great wide receivers, but does anybody else in Alabama, do they have anyone with a Travis Etienne as well? That kind of standout running back to go along with the outside weapons that really separates Clemson's offense.
Alabama does, certainly.
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma doesn't have that kind of bell cow running back. They've got a bunch of good backs, but not somebody with the talent of an Etienne.
Lawrence throwing off the play fake to T. Higgins, finding some running room. He's inside the 20, and staying on his feet down inside the 15-yard line. Here come the Tigers again.
This offense for Clemson is predicated off this run game and then the play action, and we've seen 4 or 5 times tonight, Leaves, this skinny post. I think it's the favorite route that Trevor Lawrence throws, and certainly Higgins and Ross love running that route because you throw the ball on time, they're big physical wide receivers, and they can run after the catch.
Gain of 34 there. Here's Lawrence. They mix it up so well. Tavian Feaster to the house. Touchdown. Tigers will tack on another score.
Touchdown.
Your hand can touch the ground, as long as not a knee or an elbow. The forearm, an extension of the elbow. It's connected to the arm bone. Leave it there. Bugle, the extra point. Able to boot it through. Clemson has 6 touchdowns here today, and they've opened up a 21-point lead with 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. And so I was getting at, with all the weapons on offense, and then you say, okay, so maybe Oklahoma is there and Alabama has that too, and then you bring in, oh, but what about the defense? And that leaves you probably with Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
And maybe no one else.
Well, you know, so Georgia, people forget about Georgia, okay? But Georgia defensively is really good. I think the difference with Oklahoma, yeah, they don't have a bell cow back, but their quarterback is their back.
Right, he's their running back.
So Kyler Murray is the game changer. But you're right, it's Alabama, and it certainly looks like we're headed on a collision course again with Alabama and Clemson.
The 1-2 showdown, and you know, that's a common theme on talk radio. Grease, do you want to see Clemson and Alabama again? Are you tired of that? Is it good for the sport? I mean, they seem to be the 2 best teams in the country. You want to see the best play for the championship.
I don't know how you could be tired of that matchup, right? It's an awesome matchup.
As for number 3, here's Adnan. Thank you for noticing, Adnan.
That's his Bear Bryant imitation, Adnan.
I wore it at Tuscaloosa this year, too. Everything else is navy blue. Getting bored with my wardrobe myself.
Anything we feel.
Worse. Got it. Check. Brian Edwards, another reception, his 3rd of the game. Todd, a thought on 1 versus 2? You good with that?
Yeah, listen, does it get old to a certain degree? Yeah, maybe, but I also think every time we've had that matchup, it's been a really good game.
Shi Smith on the receiving end. And I guess for the other college programs around the country, if you don't like it, do something about it then. Try to out-recruit these 2 schools.
Todd, how do you think the Clemson skilled players match up with what Alabama has?
It's a good question. I think Damian Harris is probably a little bit better than Travis Etienne, but not by much.
Yep.
And I think Clemson's deeper at wide receiver, but Alabama's very deep too, and their top guys are exceptional. So I think it's really close.
2 first-year starting quarterbacks that are playing with a lot of confidence.
Here's Bentley, and he airmails one over Brian Edwards' head. Dexter Lawrence came in and put a shot on Jake. How about the defenses, Todd, then?
Well, Clemson has the front, and they make some mistakes in the secondary. That's going to have to get fixed, but I think defensively they're every bit as good as Alabama, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, after watching tonight, Todd, I got to be honest. Yeah, I have concerns about the secondary for Clemson. They have had some communication issues. They've had some matchup issues.
And Alabama's defense has gotten better as the season's progressed.
Yes.
We've seen some slow starts out of Clemson as well. Last 2 weeks, for example. Check the marker. See if Crosby moves.
False start. Offense. Number 3. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Casey Crosby, and the 4th such infraction on the Gamecocks tonight.
But it's kind of interesting because I think Clemson offensively has gotten better as the season has gone on, but defensively they've had some lapses, and so they're going to have to continue to shore that up in the secondary as the season goes on.
Second and 15. 5 on the play clock, flashing a lot of signals. What does all that mean? It means a run to Mon Denson for a few. J.D. Davis made the stop. Davis earlier had the interception, the lone turnover of the game. Again, his dad is Jeff. He's the All-American linebacker here at Clemson, national champion in 1981. Sailed across the middle. Jacob August, welcome to the ball game. His first grab.
Jake Bentley is continuing to play and stand in there and take some shots. He gets hit here by Joseph, the linebacker, but delivers a strike to August, who comes up gimpy. But that's how you have to hit as a safety these days.
17 yards on that completion. Back to Dempson, breaking some tackles. Then he was tripped up and couldn't get his balance back, and they're going to mark him just short of the first down.
And South Carolina and Brian McClendon have made the decision to go as fast as possible now. Not worried about the defense. They're just trying to get something going, some momentum offensively.
Something came out flying, maybe a mouth guard off of Denson. As he's gotten the majority of the carries, J.D. Davis able to bring him down.
Yeah, something there. That was a violent collision there, and it's starting to get chippy. Denson and the freshman Xavier Thomas were getting after it on the last play.
Denson has 11 carries for 39 yards, and he's their leading rusher by far. Rico Dowdle has checked in now. And here is Dowdle. Did not play last week. Kendall Joseph made the stop.
I can take a look. That may have come off of Joseph's face mask rather than Denson. I'm not sure.
That's paint? We trading paint?
May have been a visor.
Out to Samuel. Oh, what a play. What a tackle. We'll see where they mark him. Like right at that imaginary, not so imaginary yellow line. But Isaiah Simmons in space, able to hang on.
And it is a first down. Great effort from Deebo Samuel. Despite the score of this game, South Carolina has an uphill battle, but there's no question about the effort from South Carolina offensively.
Here's Bentley. Cocks and throws. Too tall, too high for Kyle Markway. And Markway's a guy who goes 6'4", 242. Couldn't haul it down.
Can't tell you how tough it is for a quarterback to play against a good defense, a good defensive line without a running game. And Jake Bentley is really, this is all on his shoulders. He doesn't have a whole lot of support. Now that they're down 3 touchdowns, they got to throw on most downs. That's the most difficult spot to be in as a quarterback, and Jake Bentley has been up to the challenge.
Second down and 10, Clemson 20. On the ground for Denson, able to turn the corner and stick a foot in the turf. And they get banged out of bounds down at the 4 by Tanner Muse and company. First and goal.
A little semblance of the running game. You're starting to get Denson. He had a physical run on Joseph. Now you're starting to soften up that Clemson defense, and nice run on first down.
First and goal, it is Denson. Lowers the shoulder for a yard or two. J.D. Davis made the stop. Denson really was forced into play, and he probably shouldn't have played that Ole Miss game, but they just had nobody else to hand the football off to, and all Denson did was have 12 carries for 102 yards and ripped off a 69-yarder at Ole Miss. The game of his young career, but he's not going anywhere that time. And to bring up a third down and goal, Dexter Lawrence saw to that.
Now this is where they have really struggled, right? Inside the 5-yard line. They went for it in the first half on fourth down, weren't able to get the ball in the end zone, and without that physical inside run game, it's very difficult to score in this area of the field.
This is the 14th play of the drive. Dowdle is in, Denson's out.
And nobody's covering Brian Edwards up here.
Late personnel changes by Clemson.
Snap
on third and goal.
Missed opportunity to snap that football. Dabo Swinney's running down there to call a timeout, but as a quarterback, you got to see that, snap it, and throw it quick. They had a substitution issue. 2 guys coming off, 2 guys coming on, and right there, he's at the line of scrimmage. Snap it and flip it out there for a touchdown.
as part of the Jiffy Lube rivalry series. Through the fog and the smoke, 3rd down and goal for South Carolina. Spencer Eason Riddle has checked in, number 45, in a fullback position.
I think I have to throw the football to get it in, Reeves.
It's a pitch to Denson, and he won't get there. Austin Bryant saw to that. Cleveland Furrow was there also. 4th down and goal.
Well, you made the decision in the first half to go for it on 4th down, and now you're down 3 touchdowns in the second half, approaching the end of the 3rd quarter. So I think Will Muschamp is going to go for it. But I just think you should have tried to throw the ball on 1st or 2nd down to get them off guard. Now everybody knows you're going to throw. It's going to be difficult.
Still 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter in a 21-point game. And Will Muschamp wants to talk it over. He'll spend time out here. You mentioned the gamble from the first half on a 4th and goal from the 3, and you were assuming field goal, right?
Yeah.
You were shocked.
I wanted the points, but you take that chance. I mean, I understand it, but this is a difficult defense to score on, and then Clemson went right down the field and scored with Christian Wilkins. So I think here, if you get an opportunity with Brian Edwards, man on man, just throw it up to him, give him an opportunity, because you bring pass interference into play there too.
And that Wilkins touchdown was in a similar situation. It was 4th and goal from about the 3-yard line as well. Wilkins got stuffed the first time. They gave him a pitch the second time, and he's able to use his momentum to get into the end zone for the score.
You know, a lot of teams like to roll out in this situation and get the quarterback on the edge. I'm not as big a fan. The only reason is it constricts where you can throw the ball as a quarterback, and the defense knows that. If you roll to the right, then all the defense has to cover is that half of the field.
Not throwing back across your body. Right.
Unless they sneak someone out, but in man coverage, you have somebody for that. So you got Brian Edwards at the top of the screen, matched up on Terrell. Question is, will they have Muse here help after the snap?
And a flag. Like Farrell might have done a somersault in the middle of everything, trying to get set
Delay a
there.
game on the defense. Disconcerting signals. Half the distance. 4th down.
Okay, doctor, I haven't heard that call. Haven't heard that call in quite some time.
Disconcerting signals.
Yes.
Actually, I don't think I've ever heard that call.
Right. Rogers. Yeah.
Oh, he did a little barrel roll. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know why that could not have been the penalty. Sometimes they will call if there's a false snap count. If a defender is
screaming out, you're walking out of count too. Disconcerting signals. From the here's something you don't see every day department. Here's 4th and goal now. From the 2. Bentley to throw for it. Back of the end zone. Knocked away. Denzel Johnson able to knock it away. And the Tigers defense holds again on 4th and goal.
Trying to get the ball to your best player, Deebo Samuel, and it's just good defense there. They dropped 8. Denzel Johnson in perfect position, and when the official sees that that's a hope throw, you're just hoping something good happens, they're not likely to pull that flag out.
So for South Carolina, the frustration now of a 15 play, 73-yard drive with 0 to show for it.
And when they look at this film tomorrow, they're gonna look inside the 5. Their inability to run the football between the tackles has cost them 14 points in 2 separate situations.
So Clemson up 21. They'll take over from their 2-yard line and put it on the ground with Etienne. He'll get out to about the 5. Ernest Jones the stop, and the ball came loose after the whistle had blown. Again, in this game, we have seen Clemson with 95 and 97-yard touchdown drives.
I honestly don't think they care where they get the ball. It's just a matter of how long the touchdown drive is going to be. And that's how good Dabo Swinney's got it going right now on offense.
2nd down and 6. ETN from the end zone. Quick throw by Lawrence. Out to Kendrick, making people miss. And there is your breathing room. Darian Kendrick, a true freshman from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
You got to wonder how much gas is left in the tank for South Carolina defensively. We've documented the injuries that they've had to sustain, and these guys are getting up there in snaps. Clemson's about to snap it for the 68th time.
Final minute of quarter number 3. ETN taking a pounding, and here's Adnan. So Texas A&M, Adnan, in their game against Clemson, the Tigers won, but they allowed 26 points to A&M. That's the most points anyone has scored against this Clemson team. And here's South Carolina stuck on 21 so far tonight as we get ready for the 4th. Maybe the final play of the 3rd. Little one-touch pass to Kendrick. And making people miss. Darian Kendrick. Amazing how Clemson continues to churn out these skill guys on the outside, young and old. And that will do it. It's a gain of 19 in this in-state rivalry game. Clemson enjoying a 21-point and the final home game of 2018 season. I don't know how many more games there will be in Clemson season. They'll play in the conference championship, and then the playoffs most likely will await these Tigers. That'll be 1 or 2 games. Lynn J. Dixon, the ball carrier, true freshman from Butler, Georgia. We open up quarter number 4. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay. If you continue to have an excellent Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Here's Lawrence. He'll tuck it and run. That was one of the things Dabo said last week about Lawrence when he was misfiring. At least he was making some plays with his legs. Had a big run in the first half here tonight.
Yeah, you know, I go back to that one run against the first game he started against Syracuse, and he got hit on the sideline and had to come out of that game. And Dabo's been cautious with him running, but so listen, that's a big part of his game that people overlook. He can run, he can move. They're going to need him to do that as this playoff chase continues down the stretch. But be smart when you're caught. Make sure you get down.
3 rushes for 48 yards for Lawrence rushing tonight. On 3rd down and 3. Give it to the professional running back. Travis Etienne is just tripped up, or he would have had another touchdown.
You call him a professional. He's still an amateur, but he's on his way. Just a shoelace.
And then his job title is running back, as opposed to Trevor Lawrence.
He handled last week like a professional. He kind of, he got talking to in the first half, didn't play well, and handled his business, came back ready to play this week.
ETN's over 100 yards rushing tonight, 21 carries, $121 on the ground. And it's Dixon this time, the ball carrier.
Did you set off some fireworks?
So, I wonder if there's, some kind of special effects.
Fog is rolled in.
Going into the 4th quarter that has natural Mother Nature effects. The fog rolling in. Keir Thomas is being attended to. 42-21 Clemson.
In early 2019, Greenville Health System and Palmetto Health are becoming Christmas Health. These healthcare leaders are coming together to improve the health of all South Carolinians. Prisma Health will have the physicians, research, and resources to provide the best.
All right, Ed, thank you. And a game will be interesting as they go to the fourth quarter. We are already there in the early stages. The fog has rolled in here in Clemson. It's Kendrick running all the way across the field for first down yardage.
Number 10.
Probably ran 30 and got 10 yards on the play.
Boy, Darian Kendrick is coming on for Clemson offensively. Yeah, we know they've got the pillars outside and T. Higgins, Ross, Amari Rogers, but with Hunter Renfrow playing that slot position, they need some speed, and Kendrick in that position brings an element that Hunter Renfrow just doesn't have from a speed standpoint.
33 Tiger first downs tonight already. Again, we're just inside the start of the fourth quarter. On the ground to Adam Choice.
Well, Matt Bockhorst has come in for John Simpson, and Clemson fans watching this game will probably want to know John Simpson is up. He's on the sideline. It looked like he was ready to come back into the game, but because of the score, I think Dabo Swinney just kept him on the sideline. That's good news for Clemson's offensive line going forward.
Second down and 4. Garrett Williams shift there. He's the lead blocker behind Adam Choice. He's got the first down and thinking about more. Into the end zone for the touchdown. Another score for Clemson. Grease, I'm hesitant to point out that this drive started from their own 2 because I know it doesn't matter to you where they start, but that's a 98-yard touchdown drive.
Just an opportunity to get more yardage piling up, and no matter where they get the ball in this game, and a lot of this has to do with Clemson and how explosive they are, but right now it's kind of a combination. There's no gas left in the tank for South Carolina. Their injuries have taken their toll, and there's no confidence there. And so there's no chance for them to stop this offense.
And that is a Clemson school record 41 rushing touchdowns this season for the second-ranked Tigers. The extra point is good, too. Dabo Swinney turned 49 earlier this week. Clemson won. Lou Holtz retired as South Carolina head coach at the time. Steve Spurrier would take over. And the NBA's Malice at the Palace happened just one day prior to the South Carolina-Clemson brawl. South Carolina will take over at the 25, but first here's Adnan Virk. Do what we can. Doing the best we can, and thank you. So what do you mean we're not going to fit into our 3-hour and 15-minute window here? It's like, who's got a Snickers bar? Going to be here for a while. How are they not sponsoring our college football games to this point? 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Let's see what South Carolina has left in the tank as we look at the veteran and the freshman.
I know that Clemson is in control of this game, but Jake Bentley has played very admirably.
Yes.
I mean, 300 yards in the first half, single-handedly kept South Carolina in the game through halftime, and it's kind of gotten away from him here in the second half, where he's had to throw it pretty much on every down. Now they're running the football knowing that, listen, we just need to take some time off the clock.
What impressed me most tonight with Bentley was his patience and then his toughness in the pocket. And he took hit after hit and really just never fazed him.
Here's Bentley to throw. Steps up and completes to Deebo Samuel. And Nolan Turner got a fistful of jersey. I mean, the word on Bentley from those who have seen every game said the kid's played one bad game all season long.
Kentucky.
That game against Kentucky. Other than that, He's been very good and getting better as the season has progressed. And again, they'll play a makeup game at home against Akron next week.
Well, offensively, they have been getting better and better. And Brian McClendon is in his first year calling plays for Will Muschamp. And they have gotten better as the season has gone on. And Jake Bentley has gotten better. And he's just a junior. Have an opportunity to come back with some pieces on offense. You know, a year ago, they only averaged 22 points a game offensively, and this year they've come in and added 10 points to that total, averaging 32 a game. So they have gotten much better. That hasn't been the issue. The issue has been defense.
Right. But
if you want anybody to fix your defense, Will Muschamp has got to be at the top of the list.
The line from Muschamp was a couple of years ago, it was like bringing a slingshot to a gunfight here. They lost 56-7. Totally embarrassed. They said they had players playing who shouldn't have been playing. True freshmen who are now, by the way, juniors who gained valuable experience. And again, they're going deep in their defense again with all the injuries tonight. So people will hopefully pick up some experience that will benefit them down the road. But not tonight. As the flag flies in late, Johnson and Turner, the coverage on Samuel.
Pass interference on the defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's Nolan Turner.
Well, that's a bad call.
Yeah, I didn't, even through the fog, I don't see that.
Deebo Samuel is another one of these great college football players whose career is coming to an end. And it's been a lot of fun watching him play through the SEC. One of the more respected players in that conference. Such a multifaceted and talented player. Not a true wide receiver in the sense of the word, but just a great football player and a great career he's had at South Carolina.
Here's Bentley to throw. Up high. And it's Brian Edwards. Another reception for Edwards tonight. That's his 5th.
Brian Edwards will have a decision to make after this season. Be interesting what Todd thinks, but I think he's going to be a bona fide NFL wide receiver, and just a junior. He's got a choice whether he comes out or not.
He said he will submit the paperwork and see what the NFL types will tell him what kind of grade he might have. Here's Bentley. And airmails Edwards. Todd, you want to explain that again? So a grade of 1 means you'd be a first-round pick, and then a grade of 2 means a lower round, and then 3 means what? Go back to college?
Yeah, there's only 3 options they give you: first round, second round, or go back to school. And they changed that recently. They used to give guys, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th round projections, but they're trying to, and as they should be, trying to get kids to go stay in school if they're not going to be drafted.
Yeah, I like that. That's
great
smart.
point. On the run, throwing it across the middle. Dowdle couldn't pull it back. It was behind him. Bentley throwing on the run, found a little seam.
Well, Bentley's in the foxhole now. He's just trying to find enough space and buy enough time to get rid of the ball. Doing everything he possibly can under immense pressure. And Dowdle's got to make that play for the quarterback.
Bentley already 4th all-time. South Carolina passing yards. And will add to his total here tonight and next week. And the Gamecocks obviously bowl eligible already. Here's Bentley throwing for the score to Deebo Samuel. Touchdown. Puts Bentley over 400 yards passing on the night, and his 4th touchdown pass.
Before everybody gets in a huff about another breakdown by Clemson defensively, these are the backups that are in there now, and that was just a miscommunication in the second level, and Deebo Samuel was running wide open.
Extra point on the way. For Parker White. And whether South Carolina wins this game or not, the 28 points scored by the Gamecocks, that's the most points scored of all Clemson's opponents against the Tigers defense this season. And Deebo Samuel has 3 touchdowns on the night.
But if you show up on that practice field tonight, you better be all in. So we're going all in, and I need these players to be all in. And we'll see what happens.
see the bumper stickers, the signs everywhere. All in.
Poker chips.
Yeah, poker chips. All the players get a poker chip, and then they drop their chips in a bucket prior to each game to show they are all in for each Clemson game. We send it back to Adnan Verk. Adnan, thank you. Keep us posted.
You know, what's amazing to me, that kind of motto that came out of that first press conference.
All
right?
in,
That
yeah.
was 10 years ago, all in. That he was able, as a 37, 38-year-old, I think at that time, wide receiver coach,
right,
that had an interim opportunity, that he was able to strike that tone. And that tone of this all-in and that culture has lived now for 10 years here at Clemson. And it's been the right tone, and it's stuck. And it's pretty amazing when you think about it. He had never called plays, never been a coordinator, obviously never been a head coach. But there's something about Dabo Swinney that he was able to get the pulse of what this organization, what this program needed at that moment, and it's been so good that it's lasted for 10 years.
And he's had some help along the way. He has what he calls a dandy dozen. From his first ever recruiting class, 12 guys, half of them are wound up on his coaching staff. So people have bought in, and they've stayed with him in the system. And Dabo's got a lot of great sayings, right? So be empowered through the game, not defined by it. And live the legacy. Don't worry about leaving a legacy and those kinds of things. And look, it's easy when you're winning and everything's going great to buy in. We understand that. And I would imagine there are a lot of people jealous of what Dabo Swinney's got working here in Clemson. And there's our man, third down guy. I bet he already has a Twitter handle, @thirddownguy. Here's 3rd and 8. And just a little short, bring up a 4th down. Todd?
Hey, Levy, he's got a name, you know.
Okay, why don't you tell me his name?
Hampton McIver. It's my best work all night.
Did you just make that up or not?
MacGyver or McIver?
McIver.
Oh, my goodness.
First name Hampton. Perfect. You know there are more than 2,400 Hampton Inns around you.
Is that another promo you're reading?
Bonus promo.
Well, tell McIver I'm not impressed with his effort here in the second half. He's kind of given up. He's putting the 3rd down signs away. He's kind of dejected.
Poor stamina.
Yeah. Need more energy.
That kid is going to sell hats and T-shirts. 3rd down guy. I promise. Before Clemson punts for the 2nd time tonight. 49-28 Tigers. 7 minutes to go, and Dabo's still coaching them up.
Yeah, he's upset with Isaiah Simmons. There are only 10 guys on the field, and Simmons was the 11th guy. Isaiah Simmons had a rough night. He's been and he's going to be in the doghouse with Dabo Swinney this week, and it's a credit to Dabo. He's still coaching hard, even though they're up 21 points. As you mentioned.
Sends the right message.
Yeah.
On 4th and 1, Will Spires. Knuckling low line drive kick. Where it stops, nobody knows.
Dabo, see, that's exactly what Dabo wanted him to do. See, the crowd was moaning, and he says, you know what, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Didn't want to return. Earlier, he was upset with Christian Wilkins, because Wilkins posed the Heisman pose in the end zone, came off the field. He took him off the field and gave him a tongue lashing. And I'll tell you what, this gets your respect, that the best player on your team will be treated just like everybody else in his last game in this stadium.
Right. I think Dabo leaned in with a shoulder. Dabo's scrappy.
Oh, yeah.
Don't sleep on Dabo. Pass is nearly intercepted and will fall harmlessly down. Brian Edwards, the intended target.
There are a lot of coaches in college football that would not do that. That would let that slide. And, you know, he's constantly coaching. And I think he knows that, you know, to compete with the best, the Alabamas of the world, he's tasted that now for a couple of years in a row. And he's going to have an opportunity potentially to do it again. And he knows the standard and the process that it takes to get this team ready mentally, physically, and he will continue to coach at that level.
We learned something else about Dabo. Again, he had his birthday this past week. So what do you get the man who has everything? He said he got some real cool stuff. He said slippers. Among the list of cool gifts to get, I don't think I would say slippers. Bentley is tripped up and taken down. Adnan, back to you. All right, Adnan, thank you. And that game will decide who hosts the Mountain West Conference Championship game next Saturday night on ESPN. 4th and 14. See another punt from Joseph Charlton, who's had 1 touchback on the season. There's 34 punts coming in. And that's a fair catch from Amari Rogers. Take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. Everybody crying, where's the shakeup? Where's the shakeup? Well, Michigan got their doors blown off today. That's one.
And Notre Dame's in a dogfight there on the road. See what happens there. Alabama, impressive once again. I mean, it was a game at halftime, but they pulled away in the second half. Georgia, I think, Oklahoma, obviously the big winner with the loss by Michigan, in my opinion.
Washington State falls last night in the snow at the Apple Cup was amazing. And UCF is an interesting situation, Grease, for a lot of reasons. They've been the talk of college football in a season that has lacked in drama to this point. UCF has had a lot of the conversation, a lot of the interest, I think, as Etienne carries the football. And now poor Mackenzie Milton, so much fun to watch, to cover. And he had the surgery already, and, you know, hopefully he's on his way to recovery.
Everybody that loves college football, you know, loves Mackenzie Milton. He stands for all the good things that exist in being a student athlete in college football. So our best out to you, Mackenzie, and to heal up quick. But certainly it'll be interesting. They got a big game next week. Memphis in the championship game. They beat Memphis earlier in the year only by 3 points with Mackenzie Milton.
DeAndre Overton hits the score sheet and gets his first catch of the night. Sunday, December 2nd, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff semi-final matchups, the Capital One Orange Bowl, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. And then tonight, after Utah State, Boise State, at Sports Center, Michael Eaves, Kevin Connors to break it down. Heather Dinich will join the party. Talk about the big day in college football and what those losses by a couple of top 10 teams will mean over the course of this weekend. And again, we'll see how that shakes out. I think the committee's in an interesting position with UCF now. How do you treat a team based solely on an injury to their star player?
Well, I think they have an opportunity to watch what they do against Memphis next week, right? And they've got a comparison, obviously, with the way that they played earlier in the year with Mackenzie Milton.
Lynn J. Dixon for another first down for Clemson. 15-yard pickup. Will Sweeney on the field. He is a wide receiver on the season. He has 6 catches. Had a touchdown earlier this season. Did a nice job on a hold early on an extra point. Fumble, ball comes out. And it is recovered by South Carolina. And that is the first turnover for Clemson tonight. Brad Johnson able to fall on the football, Grease.
Yeah, Dabo Sweeney had his quarterback in there, Trevor Lawrence, and thinking that everything was going to be fine with the handoffs, and Dixon looked like just not securing that football. Got the starters in there on the offensive line, and you got the backups at wide receiver, the starting quarterback, and a backup running back. Just kind of, they probably haven't repped that a whole lot. Sometimes if you have a backup running back in, it's better to have the backup quarterback in because those two guys get more reps together. Just not on the same page.
And you never know who you're going to need down the stretch based on injury. We talk about the Mackenzie Milton situation. I mean, everybody is one play away. That's how fragile these careers can be, these seasons can be. And you need to appreciate it while you have them in there.
It's kind of interesting that Clemson coming in to the season felt really good about the 2 quarterbacks they had, obviously Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence. But I think they found a diamond in the rough in Chase Bryce, who came in and won that Syracuse game for them. Outstanding quarterback.
Here's Rico Dowdle, the ball carrier, trying to turn the corner. Kelly Bryant's going to make a decision on December the 4th. He's already visited Arkansas, Mizzou, North Carolina, Mississippi State. Canceled his visit to Miami, which was interesting to a lot of people. And maybe a second visit to Auburn upcoming. That'll be interesting.
This was a hockey line change here that all gone wrong.
Too many men
Legal
on the ice.
substitutions on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
They had guys in the backfield. They had guys trying to get on and get out. They're trying to put their starters back in. It's a 21-point game, and they get half in and half out.
But that's what you wanted Bentley to do earlier, right? You wanted him to snap it earlier for an easy score, or at least if nothing else, you pick up the penalty flag on Clemson.
But I think this is telling you something that Dabo Swinney now, after that turnover, he says, to heck with that.
It's Christian Wilkins.
I'm putting my starters back in on defense.
Wilkins and Lawrence are in there. Furl is in there. On the ground, Dowdle breaking through right up the middle, looking for running room. And Rico Dowdle is down to the 20-yard line, and that is against the starting defense for Clemson.
I'll tell you what, when you take the starters out, it's hard to put them back in. And you might say, well, why? Well, because mentally, they're on the sideline thinking, okay, I'm done for the night. And you put them back in.
And South Carolina's not done for the night. Shi Smith skies to bring it in from Jake Bentley for the touchdown.
Wow. And I can tell you, Isaiah Simmons is not going to want to go over to the sideline. It's been a tough night for him, and he's given up plays downfield. He's missed his assignments on special teams, and now he gives up a touchdown, and all of a sudden, wait a minute. Get an onside kick, and we'll see what happens.
Here we go. 5-touchdown night for Jake Bentley. You ever drive a Bentley? You probably owned a Bentley. How silly of me. I drove one once.
I am not a car guy. I'm a point A to point B guy.
Got it. A Metro card.
Give him credit, though. Bentley has not given up on this game.
He's impressed me in every way tonight. Extra point. And Parker White is good. And hold your hats. It's a 2-score game. 3:37 to go in the fourth.
Well, Jake Bentley has been outstanding. He identified the matchup here. Isaiah Simmons. That's a mismatch with Shi Smith. Just can't run with him, but look at this throw and catch. Well done by Shi Smith.
Hot grease. Houston's done a nice job after a slow start.
They didn't put the Clowney on there, huh? Guess he's not a big deal.
He's a pretty big deal, yeah.
They've got DJ Reader on there with no Clowney.
Those were just the Clemson players, Grease.
Okay.
But the truck and the people there really appreciate you pointing that out to most of America.
Team player.
Happy Thanksgiving, Grease. To the crew that traveled on Thursday.
I thought it was coming. It was a change. They were going to go to the next graphic, and then there was all
hot
the
change.
Yeah,
Got
it was
it.
the hot push.
While you were enjoying your hot turkey and gravy and stuffing, the crew was here on a Thursday eating out of a truck, a tuna fish sandwich.
There we go. See, I knew they had
Updated.
it. I was just giving them an opportunity
Yes.
to show what they had.
Life is a big opportunity. And there you see, a lot of Houston Texans have played in this series, and I imagine they're watching this right now and appreciating the shout out.
Yeah, Jadeveon, he said, "Why? How come there's no South Carolina
It's like,
guys?"
hello,
Yeah.
where am I? Again, thanks to our crew. You know, every broadcast team, they talk about how their crew's the best. We're telling the truth. Our crew,
Listen, America.
our crew's the best. Do a great job. And again, many of our folks traveling during Thanksgiving, away from their families on the holidays, and we appreciate their efforts. T. Higgins hauls it in, and they're still running with the ones.
Yeah, and still throwing the ball. I mean, they want to put some more points on the board, and I don't blame them. They only have one chance a year to play your rival, and it's only 60 minutes, and you want to use every minute on that clock.
I thought Urban was trying to score 70 against Michigan today. That was pretty close. They were running up the score there a little bit on you.
Keep bringing that up, right?
Well, as a new audience continues to join us every 15 minutes or so.
Everybody's jumping over to this game, right?
It's a two-score game, Grief. We've been through this before. It's nearly a three-score game. T. Higgins couldn't make the over-the-shoulder grab.
I have no idea why.
Stephen Montag?
No, the corner, Mukwamu, is waving his finger over there. He's a true freshman, and they're excited about his future, but you're losing the game, kid. A little bit of poise, and Will Muschamp shaking his head, saying, listen, just do your job, cover. We don't need any trash talk.
2:43 to go here in the fourth. Trevor Lawrence is still in there and handing it off to Travis Etienne. There's still some jawing going on. That's Israel Mukwamu talking it over with DeAndre Overton. And third down guy is back. What's up, Hampton?
MacGyver.
I think it's McIver. MacGyver's better. A win tonight would give Clemson their 7th undefeated regular season in school history. And they last had 12-0 starts in 1981. They got to go all the way back to, well, 3 years ago, 2015. Etienne, the ball carrier. See, everybody's out of timeouts. We click under 2 minutes to play in a two-score game.
Let this run all the way down, and then Dabo will have a decision to make. Kick the field goal here to go up 17, or just run out the clock. But he'll take a timeout and then have that conversation.
Don't have a timeout.
Out of timeouts, yeah. They're just going to run the clock out.
Take the 5-yard penalty. Let's see. 4th down and 3. Lawrence throwing for it and completing. Hunter Renfrow still in the game. And another first down for Renfrow and these Tigers. Will Muschamp's coaching to the last second as well. Good to the last drop.
Well, and that'll do it. Now you can take a knee.
.45 seconds left in the game. Don't have to snap it for another 15, but they snap it right away. Etienne for the touchdown. Another touchdown. And it's double nickel time for the second-ranked Tigers.
Tell you what was interesting before that play, watching the coaches saying, let's go, get to the line, let's go. They want to run another play. Yeah, it's a rival, man.
They wanted to score,
No doubt.
They're in that position, as long as you're running the football, Will Muschamp can't have an issue with it. But you got to stop him. If you're going to run the ball right up the middle, not much you can do.
Travis Etienne, who was so frustrated 1 week ago, 28 rushes, 150 yards rushing tonight, and 2 scores. Jake Bentley will get another opportunity with the football. Bentley's had himself a brilliant night. He's going to talk about a career night, and he's going to have to say, oh, by the way, we lost. Maybe by 21.
Well, he can hold his head high.
No question.
The last couple of times that South Carolina has played Clemson, it has not gone well for Jake Bentley. And tonight, he was not the reason that they lost.
Jake Bentley's career-high passing prior to tonight was 390 yards against USF a couple of years ago. And tonight, he's got 455 yards of passing, 5 touchdowns, and the 1 interception. It's a well-balanced Clemson team tonight. They've scored 14 points in every quarter. At least 14. And even 14. And through the fog, Dowdle. And maybe one last update from Adnan Virk. Maybe. Sounds good, Edna. Thank you.
I think that's the first time we've got cut in updates on a game that's supposed to come on after
Yes.
our game so far.
Right. They've taken their sweet time here in Clemson tonight. Been an interesting evening for Dabo. Get his thoughts with Todd immediately following this game. Speaking of Dabo, there's Debo. There's a Dabo and a Debo. Debo Samuel's had himself a night, already with 3 touchdown catches, and his effort meter is full, and that will put Bentley over 500 yards passing.
Just love that kid.
Yes.
I mean, every kid watching this game, South Carolina's not going to win, but you couldn't tell by the effort there from Samuel.
Bentley throwing for Dowdle. Has the first down. And look at Bentley. Bentley wants another play. He wants one more chance.
Yeah, the clock's at 0.
And here come the fans coming out onto the field. Bentley's thinking that was a first down. Let's just stop the clock. As the fans have rushed onto the field, Clemson 744 yards of offense tonight. Grease, that's 12 yards short of the school record set back in 1981.